Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pushing the Pace podcast with myself, as always, Elias. I'm here, joined, as always, with my good friend Samuel. Today, we got another draft. We got the draft gimmick going. We're ready for the postseason. We're going to be talking about the postseason again. There's 2 weeks left officially until the play-in, so that's exciting. Not that much, literally all the seeding, like we know which teams are out, we know which teams are in the postseason and playing or whatnot. So I'm ready to start talking about that. It's a bit too early for awards because the games, some people could still miss and not be available. Some people could still need to play games to be available. So we're going to be doing a draft 2 in a row. This one, however, I think will be fun. This is a who's under the most pressure during actually heading into the 2026 playoffs, players and coaches including, because I think that is an interesting conversation to have, because there are obviously a lot of players who have a lot to prove or maybe, change narratives about themselves or whatnot. I was trying to be a little bit more creative or think of some interesting options. I don't have that many picks. Sam, you have a lot of picks. What was your thought process in, picking the type of players and whatnot that you picked?
Yeah, I think there's different narratives and all. I think one of my first picks is going to probably surprise you and all. And one of my picks is probably going to surprise you. But I think these people were kind of easy. It was kind of easy to like hash out this in my head and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think there are different narratives. There are different places you can go. Some is contract, some is money, some is, hey, everyone is exalting you to this status. Are you going to show what that is, right? So some is players futures, some is franchises, So I think they're pick of a bunch there, and yeah, I had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That's fair.
I had 11 and all.
That's fair. Yeah. I had about 5 that I put some good thought into, and then I have some other couples just in case you steal one of mine. Because you went first last time, I'll be going first, and because I have less picks, I'll be getting the first pick. This is a team that, in the East, man, oh man, there's a lot of teams that need to win. This team, I feel as though, has the biggest pressure to win.
Yes.
And this player himself, I think, hasn't been talked enough about because of they're the Cavaliers. My first pick is Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell is a player that, the mainstream media, I feel like, hasn't really caught on to his lack of playoff success. This is a guy that historically has been on very winning teams in Utah and on the Cavaliers just last year, or in Utah with Gobert. And he's had great playoff performances, and he can score the ball a lot. But as we've talked about on this podcast before, he can have the tendency to look around and be like, hey, this team is riding or dying on me, shooting a bunch of shots. And when it comes down to that, he can shoot a lot of shots, and his efficiency, especially from 3, he can just start taking a lot of shots. And I think that, we've talked about the Cavaliers so many times that, this core, trading away Darius Garland to age up 10 years with a James Harden, I don't feel like Harden is under the pressure because so many people already expect him to go down. Or like Evan Mobley, people are weary of them and Jared Allen in the playoffs because they're the ones who did the lights are too bright against New York.
Yeah.
At the helm of all of these teams is Donovan Mitchell, and his ability to score, but also to have inefficient games and have just games where he just shoots a lot and, can take over the offense, hijack it, whether that be a win or a loss. Hasn't ever been to a conference finals. They haven't had much success. They beat the Heat last year. That's not much. They lost the Pacers. This is the team that needs to win. And I think Donovan Mitchell has gone under the radar in terms of playoff, woes, because he has had the explosive scoring. But I just believe that, when his team loses, he is a proponent of that. He is not, you know, he is part of that for sure. And I think that this is really a ride or die, season for them.
Yeah, and he's a major part of that. And I don't know why major media doesn't catch on to that fact that the pressure is on him and all, because it's not even the fact that, because we did, I think one of the reasons they do that is because, oh, Donovan Mitchell is all alone. But he's the one guy, as I said, that's had two defensive player of the years on his team.
He
He's
has, yeah.
had all-stars on his team. In Utah, it was him, Gobert,
Gobert.
and who? What, was there any other all-star on that team?
I don't believe Gordon Hayward was on that team with him, but I mean, it
Mm,
was Rudy Gobert. He had Bojan
yes,
Bogdanovic. He had Mike
but
Conley. He
yeah,
had good players around
yes.
him.
So that's that. Then you go to the Cavs, and you've had Jarrett Allen as an all-star. You've had Mobley as an all-star. You'd have Mobley as a defensive player of the year. You are now getting James Harden. You had Garland as an all-star. There's a certain amount of players in this league that have just done better with their ends in a short time, has done way better than you, bro. Way better than
Yep.
you in
Yeah.
playoffs, right? And all. So, and again, he has all these high scoring games within the playoffs. But as I said, as much as he's shooting and getting those points, he's shooting them out of the games. Like he shot his team out of the games a number of times in the playoffs. And also his his defense, barring his first and second year in the year, have been horrific.
Yeah, that is something else I wrote down, that like his defensive, teams look at him as a guy to attack.
Oh,
And
1000%.
alongside, Darius Garland, we were like, oh, both of them are, able to get attacked. James Harden is bigger, but he can get attacked. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to have to step it up on the defensive end as well, because at the end of the day, somebody needs to guard the perimeter. And
And
James Harden is not going to be able to move like he can, at least athletically and being younger and all that like stuff. He needs to step up a bit more on that side.
for him, it's just like them doing the Harden move just extricated things much more than I think they should have. Because now you are really saying that move is like where we really need to make a finals.
Yeah, that move is like we weren't good enough to make it last year, or it was shown that we
Yeah,
weren't good enough to make it with Garland, and we're
yeah,
willing to bet on an older guy who is better, or is just overall a better player
yes.
historically and whatnot. But even like, he has his playoff moments, as much as I hate to admit. He has
Uh-huh.
his moments and all that. And Donovan Mitchell, has his moments too, but it just feels like it's always like, he's the only guy there. He's the only guy shooting on offense. He's the one creating everything, this and that. At the end of the day, man, he's going to be almost 10 years in the NBA. I believe next year would be 10 or 9 years in the
Yeah.
NBA, not made our conference finals, have
And
always been to the
we
playoffs.
don't make the jokes of Embiid with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
People don't
Yeah,
talk about it. Like
not at
never been.
all.
And again, as I keep saying, some of these players that have done better than him have not had the amount of all stars and defensive players of the years that he's had. He's had two defensive player of the years. You've had like
Yeah.
four all stars. Like, then what is the excuse? And this season particularly, I don't want to hear anything, man. I don't. You
Mhm.
better find a way to do it, because if you guys don't do it, where do they even go from here? If they lose in the first round or second round, where do they go from there? Because are you bringing
I
this
don't
back
know.
next season? Are you
I
really
don't know.
bringing it back
I
next
don't
season?
know. I don't know. That's what I'm really excited about to see, because I really have no idea. I mean,
Yeah, very
there's
interesting.
obviously the stuff with Giannis and all that stuff, but it's like, man,
Yeah,
at what point, you know,
yeah.
was very interesting to see. So yeah, that's my
Okay,
first pick.
my first pick. I have two first picks, but I think I'm going to go for this guy. My first pick is Wemby. My first pick is Victor Wembanyama, and it's very simple. There's been a lot of chatter. Started from the season. Hey, we
Hmm.
play the right way. Hey, I don't want to play it a certain way. Um, Pretty much campaigning for his MVP case. Why
Yeah,
he's better than
recently,
Jokic?
and his odds jumped up and all that.
Yes. Why he's better than Jokic? Why he's better than Luka? Why he's better than Shea? Um, and I don't have any problem with any of these things. I have absolutely zero problem with these things. The fact of the matter is Wemby has been given, Nick Wright said this best, he's been given the leash we've never given anyone that's not won one playoff game. He's been given a leash that I ain't ever seen given to any player in terms of the commentary out there, because we're hearing things from him and people want to put him over here on the throne, which he kind of deserves, because obviously we see the talents that he's on ground. Like he's a super,
it's not completely unwarranted.
Yes, it's not unwarranted.
Yeah.
But
you gotta do a little something more.
Can we win one playoff game? Can we win one playoff game? You know? We've seen a lot of great regular season team. And I was also one that doubted this Spurs team in terms of doing it this season. I thought it was going to be next season. But they got me early and on. I accept my wrong. But again, the playoffs are going to be the playoffs. And all eyes are going to be on this supposed player that is meant to be dominating for this next couple of years. And if you've also added to that media frenzy by your words and the things you say, and very braggadocious in a way, right? Confident, and it's fair. Like, it's completely fair. I have no issue with it. Like, but you know, saying, hey, I don't want to play like that team. We play the right way. These teams don't play well. Hey, Luka and Jokic don't play on one side of the ball. We've beaten Shea team 4 times this year. We've dominated them. So, hey,
he's been talking. He's been giving his case, and I appreciate it. But
I do appreciate it. I completely. But again, the fact is the matter. When playoffs comes, you have to answer that call. And if the reason why I put him, he's my number 1 pick, is the reward. The reward is you are this gigantic NBA figure that is regarded as the best player in the world, and you're going to dominate for 15 years, and no one is going to touch you. And the reward for showing up in this playoff is like, whoa, everyone is just going to like crown you immediately.
Yeah. I feel like everybody is very, like, even last year when everybody was saying that he would win Defensive Player of the Year, and obviously got hurt, and I mean, he had a very real case, but it's like everyone is like trying to jump on to be like, we want to crown you. We know you can be that guy, and we want you.
That is why I feel there's pressure and all. Like, obviously, if he doesn't pan out well these first playoffs, it doesn't mean it's all over for Wemby. No, but I'm just saying the talk I would not have any problem with that if the talk hasn't been matched with what he's been saying. If this was a whole media hoopla, fair. But this is also exalted because you've been talking.
He's putting it on himself right now. He's making himself
he's saying,
a target to season, like.
I don't want to even make it a conversation who is better, right? And all, right? So there's been a lot of things Wemby has said and all in a very short time, extremely short time. And typically, we always tell these guys, do something first. Do something first, right?
Yeah.
So Wemby is my first pick, and I think it's quite simple. And it's not because, I don't like Wemby, or I think, he's wrong for saying. No, I'm saying with that comes expectations, with that comes pressure. And the reward you are going to gain if you play incredibly well is the world is your oyster, pretty much. So
yeah, that's true. Honestly, I did not have Wembanyama on. I almost just looked past the Spurs because I'm thinking in my head, it's their first playoffs, it's his first playoffs, this and that and the third. But you make a very good point. He is putting a target front and center on, he is putting these expectations on him, which is fair because he is able, and I feel like he will be that kind of player. But you are right. When it comes to the playoffs and a team is able to, get 7 games and try their best to stop him, he might have some bad games. He might have some challenges here and there.
Yeah.
So that's a fair pick. That's a fair pick.
And remember, I told you, I was like, hey, I'm coming in with the list, bro. There's a reason why everyone is here on this list, man. There's the narratives around this, man. So let's go. Second
All right.
pick.
My next pick. This pick, this is a man that, in my opinion, I feel like he can only lose millions of dollars at this point in a certain playoff run. I feel
I think I know who this is.
He can't really make any more than he already is kind of projected. Mr. Austin Reeves.
I had him
for the Lakers. For the Lakers. This is a guy, That's why I had to pick him second because I wrote a bunch about him and I knew you were gonna pick him because you've been talking about him this season.
Yeah.
This is a guy that can only lose millions, in my opinion, because
Mm-hmm.
you know Luca is here right now. He is here. Reeves, obviously, you're not Luca level, but you are kind of heralded. You are the second option, and he has played great. I think, however, this playoffs can really show some ugly sides if Reeves has a hard time with physicality, with foul baiting or lack thereof, getting fouls from
Yep.
that defensively. Obviously, Luca is not there. If Luca and Reeves are both not there, how's that going to look? This is a team that their future is Luca and Reeves. And
Maybe.
this playoffs is gonna see if it's gonna be we're just Luca or Reeves deserves to be here. He has a place. He has shown that he is able to play alongside Luca in a playoffs, contribute, not be cooked defensively or anything like that. Uh, and I think this is the Lakers like chance. Like, is this the guy we want to secure beside Luca? Because whatever contract he's gonna get is gonna be a big
This is
4-year
a
contract,
this is a test.
$35 million a year, 40 almost $1 million a year. Like, this is this the guy beside Luca? And if not, we don't gotta pay you that much if we see direct struggles from you.
Yeah.
Um,
I think even the Lakers organization. So this is one a weird thing. Teams would rather not pay you the big bucks. Like most organizations don't want
yeah,
to pay you
definitely.
the extra. But I think in this case, the Lakers are probably on their knees, like, bro, we need you to pass these tests that are coming. Because this is the thing. The Lakers roster construction is so far behind currently.
Mm-hmm.
A good example is they're not viable without Marcus Smart on the court. That tells you all
Yeah,
you need to know, right?
yeah,
That tells
yeah.
you all you need to know about where they are and all. But back to what I'm trying to say, the roster construction is so far behind that despite them being like a typical organization, be like, we don't want to pay this person as much as we pay, they rather pay Reeves as much as they pay so they don't have to start going into an off season worrying about a second. Because now you're going to
Yeah.
the off season worrying about a second, LeBron, then
Everybody else.
everybody else.
Everybody else. That's an interesting point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Now
so
they
it's
would
more
have to worry about who is the
yes.
other guy
Yes.
because
So this
yeah.
is one of the things, and this is why I had the list. Bro, we're thinking of this thing. It's just different angles we're coming from. But that's one of the things I'm thinking about. Like, because if I don't believe in a decision maker, and I think you're a terrible decision maker, the worst thing I can give you is to make more decisions that are critical. I think
Mhm.
Pelinka sucks. I think Rob Pelinka is still in the leaving. I think he's not good enough. The worst thing I can make this man do is go into an off season where there are more critical questions he has to
Mhm.
make decisions for. So Austin Reeves has to show up. Like, he has to have a very good. So they're just like, take your money. Okay, now let's focus on building the
Mhm.
roster, figuring out LeBron and all, right? And
Mhm.
stuff. So it's a very critical thing that Austin Reeves' performance obviously affects his money, but also it also affects the Lakers because if he fails the test, it's going to be another bad transfer season for them, except if they sack Rob Pelinka, because I don't trust this man to make good
Mhm.
decisions.
Mhm.
Like I can't give you can't. It's like giving a kid that's been failing. It's like giving a kid that you tell every morning to lay their bed. Then like, hey man, we're gonna buy extra this in your room and more furniture and this and that. Bro, he can't even lay his bed yet. Why are we adding all this stuff into
Mhm.
his room, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, the Austin Reeves thing is very interesting because he has to pass that test. So Lakers just like, you are second. You guys are you and Luca already have good friendship and all that kind of stuff. Now we can just focus on okay, what are we doing with LeBron? Are we thinking of Giannis? Are we thinking about our rosters construction and all? But yeah, because if Austin Reeves fails this test, I think we might be seeing a Giannis in Lakers uniform, possibly. But that
God,
that's
I don't know
that's
if you could say something more gross than Luca being in a Lakers jersey. Man. No, that's
bro.
interesting because I almost thought when you were saying about Reeves, I thought you would go the other way, that they want him, that they're kinda hoping that he does fail so they don't have to pay him this
No,
much money,
no,
because
absolutely not.
I don't think, even if he does play great, I am still very weary of whatever contract he gets, because if he gets whatever contract he gets, 50 million whatever in his last few years, that's a lot of money, and I'm still
I
hesitant,
am
and I
skeptical.
still
I am skeptical, but it's a
yeah, I'm
case of
skeptical.
I am skeptical of that, but it's also a case of he's just not played well in any of the like. Sorry, I won't say not played well, but he's come up short in multiple playoff series now, where people either target him or take him off of his offensive game and stuff like that. He's unable to handle physicality, and the Lakers are just not going to. I just don't think they can afford him failing. They can't afford an off season where they have to worry about, because now it's like, should we pay him? Should we not pay him? And Reeves has a lot of ties to the franchise in terms of like emotional ties and all. Undrafted guy came up and got to this at certain point and all. So it's a they rather this man excel, because even if they're going to give him a bad contract, they can at least be like, and everyone was just like, okay, no one is going to bother about what that fourth year is going to look like if they do it now. Yes, it can look, and I worry about like how much they're going to give him, because I still think he's probably not going to be worth that. He just has to
Yeah.
have a great playoff. They can't just go through that period of having to think about who their number two is again.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And when you said the emotional ties, I was just thinking of this TikTok that had like all the clips of Reeves and Luca, like, bromance, or like there's the one clip of like Luca reaching out for his wrist or whatever. Man,
Oh my
that
goodness.
stuff is so funny. So
Uh,
yeah, that's my second pick, is Reeves.
yeah.
And but yeah, and yeah, in my opinion, he can only lose money. I don't think he can gain much more
I
than
don't think he
whatever they
can gain
were
much more. I
gonna
don't think he can
give
gain much
him.
more, but he can lose money.
Yeah. And a lot of his small flaws or whatever, like everything is magnified in playoffs. Everything is looked at with a closer lens, not just by the fans and the media, but like obviously the other teams, the coaches, how they're trying to attack you and like just get your weak spots or whatever. So I think all of that stuff, you know, can be exposed and it can get ugly. Um, or maybe not. And maybe he's just that guy and it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we'll see. We'll see. It's a very weird thing, because I don't want them to give him the contract, but I also don't want him to fail. It's a weird thing. Like obviously I want Luka to do well and Lakers. I like LeBron. I like Reeves. It's like it's not like I just don't. I don't want them to place so much money on Reeves, because I still don't think in my head he's going to have to show us a lot this playoffs for us to be like, he's undeniably the second for
Yeah.
Luka. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right?
no, I agree
That
completely. It just
question,
feels
that question, I'm not going to have it for Giannis.
yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of people talk about his age and health and all that kind of stuff.
Give me Giannis.
Well, no, I agree. I
You
agree.
know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
But I agree. But Reeves, no. It feels like any contract can look bad in a couple of years, but in the moment, you're right. It would be nice to just have the security of this is Luca, this is Reeves. We just need to build a team around them and get reliable
Yeah,
defenders and all that.
yeah. It's a much easier offseason if he plays well. Because think about it, even if we feel the contract is not worth it, I feel they rather just make roster construction around the team.
Yeah.
Like,
Knowing that
that is,
Reeves is the second guy
yes, right?
versus
Like,
they
yeah, like
not knowing who the second guy is.
yes, like rather not, yeah, that is just a better turn of
And
events for them.
there's no real free agency. Like who is
Yes,
out there that you're willing to give a big
exactly.
contract? Like
Exactly.
it doesn't really exist.
Okay. I'm going for this gentleman. Really like this man. Pretty nice man, as much as I've called, as much as I've seen in the NBA and all. Very eloquent. I love his passion. I think he's a really, really good man and good at his job. But it's Mr. Mike Brown. It's Mr. Mike Brown from the
Mm,
New York Knicks.
mm.
And it's not it's not any fault of his own. I feel he's going to be the one that gets, if this team fails, the Knicks fail, he's going to get smashed on his head. James Dolan has come out to say our expectation, not goal, expectation is we make it to the finals, right?
Yeah.
The issue Mike Brown has is I particularly could not even find any Knicks player I would say they are under pressure because they're all boys. It's like a fraternity of Jalen Brunson, Michael Bridges, Josh Hart. Then you have Cat in, like they have a select group of players where you can break that thing. Yeah,
I mean they did with Dante immediately. They traded and Randall. I mean they weren't afraid to do it, and they have done it already.
I'm just saying there's no break it in terms of, I'm not saying about trading. I'm saying break it in terms of, I feel there's no one person you can highlight to be like you mess. Like you can separate the group. You can pick out one person from the group and be like, it's all of your fault.
This is the reason why.
Yes, this is the reason why. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Not because they can't trade any of them. So Mike Brown just has to, for his job, he's under pressure. He's under pressure because you can't lose to the Knicks. Sorry, you can't lose to the Cavs. You can't lose to the Celtics. You can't lose to
beat already last year.
You should be, and it's where the season they have, but personally, with just the run you guys have had this past year and the experience and the wealth of experience you guys should have gained from this top series, you should be like the clear cut. We trust in you so much that your seeding doesn't matter and you guys should go to the finals. We have that trust for Boston, but the fact of the matter is Boston is having Tatum come from an ACL injury. So they have a benefit of the doubt, like, hey, that can go either way, right? And all. But the Knicks, this is your chance because if you don't do it now, if you don't do it this season, I'm sorry, you guys are probably never making the finals in this iteration of players and all. So Mike Brown is under a lot of pressure. You've heard weird comments. Michael Bridges not playing well. Michael Bridges coming out to say that, it's on him, not for not. He's been sulking. Then Kat took 3 field goals after one half and saying that, I don't know what he said. It was like, I'm still.
He said, I still don't know what my role is on this offense. And I'm like, bro, that's not what championship teams say,
and
you know?
I would hate that as a coach because you're pointing the finger at me, literally. You are pointing the finger at me, whether you like it or not. So, literally, I think Mike Brown is under because I think if they don't make the finals, I just don't see, even if they go to game 7 in the conference final, like if they don't make the finals, I think he loses his job. And I think that would be a tough thing to recover from because this is his first year in the Knicks. And also
that would be rough, but it's like almost getting to the point where it's like, are we just gonna start getting a new coach every year? Like, who is the guy to keep around? And I think ultimately, like, even if they do fire Mike Brown, I think some moves would be made, whether it's correct or not. That's a good pick. I didn't actually have him written down. I had 2 other coaches written down. This coach, however, is second on my big board. I had to get Reeves out because I knew you were gonna snipe him if I didn't get him out. But I got a team who I think clearly has the worst vibes, the worst just outlook for the playoffs, the team that everybody over the past few months has kind of just gone down on. That is the Houston Rockets. That is Ime Udoka. This is the most volatile team. The vibes have been pretty bad. He's had comments towards Şengün after, calling out. He is a very like tough, no nonsense guy, but I feel like at the same time, he isn't like, when you're a tough, no nonsense guy, on the court and all that, you still have to have some type of personal relationship where you care deeply. And, you guys both know that this guy's being no nonsense to keep you in check and all that stuff.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like anybody likes each other. It doesn't seem like.
Did you see the video did you see the video when Şengün had that game-winning block? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And nobody reacted. Nobody reacted. That was such a crazy play. And then he came out with the busted lip and nobody reacted. Nobody reacted. Nobody whatever. The vibes have been bad. Um,
The Slim Reaper's burner destroyed
yeah,
the Houston
that
Rockets.
also as well. The late game execution has been horrendous. It's the same with how when Boston had him. Boston, it seems like so long ago because Joe Mazzulla has seemed to like just completely erase that memory. But Boston had so many games in the Ime Udoka era where in the late game it was just like Tatum do something, everybody stand still. We're
Because
gonna watch Tatum do
you know what you
something.
need to you know what you need to be at the end of the game in clutch games. You have to be a good offensive coach. He's not a good offensive coach.
Yeah,
Like I think one
yeah.
of the things that puzzled me when Ime came, and especially to the Rockets, was how everyone was so enamored by them getting offensive rebounds upon offensive rebounds. And I was just like, you guys were rebounding the ball almost 1/3 of the amount of times you shot the ball, which was like the highest in NBA history or some crap like that. 40,
Mhm.
it was like 40 something percent of
Yeah.
every shot. They- yeah.
Almost 50% of the
And
time you
and
got
I
the
think
own
people don't know
rebound.
what they were saying by that. Like what you're saying by that is also the fact that you're not that good offensively. So
Your
what
offense
happens?
works when you miss. Your
Yes.
offense, the one of the biggest proponents of your offense is when you miss, which
One of the biggest proponents of open shots in the NBA is when there's a long offensive rebound or offensive rebound because teams have collapsed, matchups are screwed up, rotations are screwed
Mhm.
up,
Mhm.
and now that's when you're cooking. And it says something. I'm sorry, I love Steven Adams, but it says something when people are like, "Oh, Steven Adams is out and it's ruined." I'm like, bro, if that's what we're banking on, you don't deserve to be a
Yeah,
championship
yeah,
contender.
yeah.
Yeah,
If Steven Adams being out really just plummeted their offense like it has, and Kevin Durant has had, multiple comments like they've talked about him in the post game about him not taking enough shots in the fourth quarters, which I agree. Or like recently in the past month where it just felt like every single time it's a fourth quarter, we're gonna double KD now. What are you guys gonna do? They had absolutely no idea what to do. The ball got to Amen, got to Şengün, and they were just taking rough shots. Um, a team that doesn't like each other, a team that everybody I feel like is like begging to get in the first round because it's almost like guaranteed that we're going to be able to beat them if we meet up in the first round. Um, not playing Reed Shepherd, this and that in the third. I think that outside of Jamal Mosley, outside of maybe these tanking teams, whatever, like he might be one of the first guys to get fired
I don't
because
think he
at the
gets
end of the
fired.
day, bro,
I
I
don't
think
think
he
he
gets
gets
fired
fired.
because at the end of the
He may.
day, they're still gonna pick KD over him. I think so.
Yes, but at the end of the day, they probably would have they will run the excuse of
No
they're probably
Fred,
going
no
to
Steven
no
Adams,
Fred, no Steven Adams. I think he has
but
more excuses to give, but I would say his personality combined with depending on where they go out, that's also like a part of it, right? Like this is a guy that has a very I won't say weird, but just a very strong personality, calls out his team and all. But I'm just like, bro,
players individually,
you're
like
not a
about
good
the
offensive, you're
defense and
not a
all
good
that.
offensive coach, man. You're not a good offensive coach. So
I think if the way that they go out, like, do you have any belief that they can make it out of the first round against the Lakers, the Nuggets, the
no,
Wolves? Me
no,
neither.
absolutely not.
So in that case, like I feel like running it back with this team, which we have just seen just be awful offensively, and like you said yourself, he is not an offensive coach, and it doesn't seem like the team gels well or that they particularly like each other or they're there for each other. Like, you know, firing the coach is always the excuse, but sometimes it is the right move. And it feels like he might not be the coach for this group, especially with a KD. And, I don't see them trading for Giannis. I mean, that's always on the table, whatever, but that's not going to solve a coach situation. So I just think he has the most pressure to I mean, he has pressure, but at the same time, I don't believe in them at all. I don't believe in him at all to really make significant
So
offensive
changes like
changes.
Ime is going to win Ime, man.
So I think there's pressure for something positive to
Yes,
happen.
yes,
I just
yes,
don't
yes.
believe it will happen. And I think, I think it's already written in stone. of what's gonna
I,
happen with the
I think
Rockets.
I completely agree that he's under pressure. 1000% he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that said, I might as well just go the other route and all. No, not the other route, the same route. Kevin Durant is my pick. Listen, man, we need to. The elephant in the room is 2019, 7 years. It's been 7 years, bro. The most KD has won in a second round is the Bucks, that Bucks Nets series. That's the longest
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
That's the longest he's gone. So that's 3 wins in the second round.
Yeah.
Next round swept.
Foot on the line. That
Next round
team.
swept. Next round swept. The next round he goes to Phoenix, right? Plays 2 games. Plays 2 games in the second round against Denver. Was a very easy series for Denver. Next, got swept again, right? Yeah, I think he got swept.
Yeah, by the Timberwolves. By the Timberwolves.
right?
Amped. Uh-huh.
Right? Where was he last season?
He was
He was
still
still on
on
the Suns.
Yeah, he was still on the Suns. Did
They
they
didn't make.
what?
They didn't make. They didn't make the playoffs.
Oh
last
my
season.
god, you're right. I forgot they didn't make the
And
playoffs.
I'm sorry, man. Again, I judge a lot of these things by expectations. The way we revere you as a player, bro. I don't want to hear all these excuses of, okay, well, we call you the Slim Reaper. We call you the greatest scorer that's ever existed. We call you this. We give you this adulation and everything. And bro, since 2019, it's been Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Because the greatest players
He's gotten swept twice and missed the playoffs once.
4-0 in the first round. 4-0.
That Boston series was nasty.
And
I saw that clip again. Have you seen that gif of him in the Nets Celtics when he was like guarding, but he just like turned around at the rim and like he just like made that pose, like, but he wasn't doing anything. He was just watching it happen. Oh man.
So I'm sorry, man. We can't have this adulation for Kevin Durant without the expectations that we put on every. That's my problem, right? It's not like I don't like KD or something like that, but it's just the expectations we put for these legendary players. And obviously, Kevin is older now, and I get that. But the fact of the matter is that this has been starting since 2019. After that Toronto Raptors and Warriors series, it's been seasons of non-existent playoff success for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the fact of the matter is, they always have to carry that burden. Bro, when LeBron was in the Cavs and he had Clarkson and Rodney Hood and he had J.R. Smith and he had these guys, bro, our expectations, no one was giving that. If he lost in the first round, he was going to get cooked.
Yeah.
It's expectations, man. Again, are you going to be the guy that won with... At the end of the day, I keep telling people, you won with the greatest generational two-ball we've ever seen in this era of basketball. The most unique, the person that changed the game forever. You won with him, and you won with his course, and you won with Draymond Green, and as a different... Bro, your 3 years Warriors. 3 years Warriors. Let's just 3 years Warriors. OKC, Western Conference Finals, a lot of Western Conference Finals.
Finals twice.
Finals and all.
Finals
so
once.
Good amount of success. But this was you won it. And ever since then, bro, you've never been able to prove to us that you're really that finals MVP. The only time he did was that Nets series. That Nets series against the Bucks was one of the most legendary things I've ever seen, where I was like, that's the best player in the world.
Yeah. Bro, that series pains me so much because, Kyrie got hurt so early, and then Harden had his hamstring injury, and he was playing through that. He had, he was playing through that injury, and then, I mean, obviously the foot on the line, the shoe size too big, all that would have been insane. And I really believe that they definitely could have won if they were healthy, the whole thing. But no, I that's totally a fair pick. This next one, there was one I wrote down that I don't want to pick anymore, but I'm just gonna say it. I wrote down the Bucks package, which quotation is Cat and Mikal Bridges, just for the Knicks. But I agree on your points that that was a bit more silly because I don't think that the Bucks would trade them, but that's obviously the type of package for Giannis.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown in a similar vein to to what you said about Wemby, this is a guy who has been
Okay.
talking a lot. He's been, he's had a great season. He's really proven to himself and the world that he's able to lead a team like this, obviously alongside a coach of the year and just a lot of good shooting and a structure and all that system.
Yeah.
But he has stepped up. He is arguably maybe a first team, definitely a second team NBA player, all NBA player.
Yeah.
Tatum is back now, but we're still, he had that great game against the Hornets, but Tatum, our expectations for him in the playoffs are going to be a lot lower. Jaylen Brown, you've been talking the trash against Shea, that you deserve MVP too, this and that. I want to see you play the same way you've been playing in the playoffs when it comes down to it. And a team like Detroit, if you're facing Detroit in the conference finals and you got Asar Thompson, you got Ron Holland hounding you, and they make you go to your left hand, what's going to happen then? The turnovers, how are those going to look? The shot efficiency, how's that going to be? Because they just played a game against the Hawks yesterday, I believe, that they lost. I didn't see it. I was actually taking a nap, but I saw the box score. On box score watching on this one, I believe he was 9 of 29 on 29 points. I believe so. I should double check. But, he is susceptible to games like that. If the Celtics, who nobody really expected to, play this good, if they are to win, I think, 9 of 29 with 6 turnovers against the Hawks. If you are to win, obviously Tatum is a big part of that, but you need to be the number one guy again. You were Finals MVP. You are almost first team All NBA player. I just want to see you continue to play like this in the playoffs. And when you are definitely the number one guy, because again, Tatum is there, but he's not going to be able to play like the number one guy on every single night. There's going to be nights where he is going to be extremely tired or not going to be able to play as much or, any other thing. He is the guy. Will he continue to be the guy? I don't know. I think he could, but that's just something I'm interested in.
I think that's a very fair point. Like, Jaylen Brown has been talking to. I know.
He hasn't been talking. And the
to be
Celtics
fair-
media, Bill
fair,
Simmons,
He's won.
they've been pushing.
He's won.
Yeah,
He's won.
he is
won.
again like Wembanyama. He had it's not unwarranted, but it's like you're talking a lot.
Yeah, he's won.
Let's see.
There's the same level of confidence
playoffs.
when you win Finals MVP for the conference final, Finals MVP for the finals. There's a fair, completely fair. So I think he's the best two-way player in the league. Yes, I think he's the best two-way player in the league.
Shea exists, bro. Shea exists.
Shea is not the. When what is this? Shea is a two-way player.
He doesn't Shea is a great defender.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, bro. You know what? How you can be a great defender? You can be a great defender when you defend at most the fifth best offensive player on that other team. At most.
I still think he's a great defender. I think Jaylen Brown being the best two-way.
The same way people are like, Ant is a great defender. Have you ever seen the Ant stats this year about his defense?
Yeah, I've seen. I think Shea is legitimately a good defender.
I think he's an okay defender. And you know why I say he's not a great defender? He doesn't play in a team that he has to be a great defender.
I mean, that is fair. But it's also
he's not put in situations where, because there's Caruso, there's Casey Wallace, there's Lu Dort, there's Chet, there's Hartenstein, there's what's his name? Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
There's AJ Mitchell. Like 8 guys. There are 8 guys that every lineup team sets. If they have 5 of those 8 guys, Shea gets to just not focus on the best offensive players. So the guys that get to have to be focused on that gets docked, man. But Shea gets, and he's going to have great numbers because you're defending the worst offensive player on that team. I don't know why.
I suppose.
I completely disagree on this two-way player thing with Shea. That is not a two-way player for me, personally. Jaylen Brown, the guy that is like, give me Kawhi. The guy that's like, give me Shea. That is a two-way player for me. And two-way player for me, even though he's it's been found out like this season that he's very terrible off the ball. But he's still a
Yeah.
two-way player and all.
Yeah.
Man, Kawhi, yeah, like the guys that like two-way player is we will have this talk another time and we can make a case and all. But let me go to my next player, and this is quite simple. I'm 1000% you're not going to have my fifth pick. 1000%. I'm not even scared of that. So I'm not going to mention that now. Is Luka. It's quite simple. It's quite simple, and the reason why yes. And again, it's not because there's context to this, right? Am I scared going into a playoffs about Luka Doncic? Absolutely not. This is there ain't 10 better player performance in probably NBA history than this guy. He's proven from the first day he played a playoff game that this period, this arena doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, no matter how great his regular season is, he's played better in the playoffs than his regular season games. So
that is true.
But the fact of the matter is the context, the noise, the lies on his name. And that's why I feel he's under pressure. There are a lot of people within the media that want to get him off his spot. They want to get him off his spot. Every time someone plays better, every time this player plays is better than Luka. Every time this player plays better than Luka. Every time it's better than Luka. I don't know why he's the measuring stick for all these people to use. I don't know why he's the name people would want to use to say, oh, they're better than. Whatever reasons they are, it's on them. But the fact of the matter, Luka has pressure. One, the Lakers need to do better than they did last season. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, we know it's not his fault in terms of roster construction, but unfortunately, he just has to do more with less. And that's crazy saying when there's LeBron and Austin Reeves there, but we know the context of them defensively. We know the context of the fact that they have probably the worst bench in the league. We know the context of the fact that they have DeAndre Ayton as Jackson Hayes as the center rotation. We know the context of the only one person that is being relied on is an old Marcus Smart and all. That we know that, okay, he's going to give this, right? So everyone that comes or can chip in, we don't even know what they chip in. It's Jake LaRivia, it's Vanderbilt. We know the context of what this thing is. And again, his positioning among the best players in the league has gotten so weird. And anyone can say, I'm just putting my article that I wrote.
I know. You've been replying to everybody. By the way, I wrote about this.
My Substack article about the conversation about Luka getting weird. And I have personally felt, obviously I'm a big fan of Luka, so obviously it affects me in terms of like the conversation and discourse about it, where his season has been regarded like,
I've seen people, like, I was listening to the Zach Lowe today and he was saying like, it seems like we're almost like we expect this of Luka, and yet, he hasn't gotten any accolades for it. He hasn't gotten MVP yet. He hasn't gotten the championship yet, but we treat him like, that's just regular Luka stuff, and we don't need to award him for that because he does that all the time. And there is a level that he set the base mark so high that now, he's just doing what he does and maybe even a little bit better.
This month, 51, 60, 47, 47, 43, 40 this, 40 that. Like he's just giving 40s to everyone. He's going to win Player of the Month. He's going to win Player of the Month for January. He was averaging 40 in October, I believe. Like this season he had a bad December. And I think I gave him slack for that December. But then we'll find out about the stuff that's been happening in his personal life and all, right? So everyone gets more context. But again, no excuses. He's a basketball player. He has to do his job, blah, blah, blah. We had a bad December. But every other month, I just saw a stat called win assisted something. There's a stat called win over replacement or something like that.
Yeah, win over replacement, yeah.
No one has more than him. I think he's behind Jokic or something like that. I don't remember what numbers were. but no one
Yeah.
has won more months than him, technically, right? Than
Mm.
him. So I'm just like, he's going to a point where we're completely disregarding what this guy's and also minimizing the growth he's made. Do you know when we speak about Lou Dort, Caruso, when we speak about these best defenders in the league, we'll be like, hey, he's top 5 in he's top 5 in deflections, he's top 10 in steals, he's top 10 in this, he's top 10 in charges taken. Is Luka top 7 in steals per game. Luka top 16 in deflections or 14 in deflections. Luka, I think he's top 10 or top 20 in charges drawn. These are the things you ascribe on defensive players, but obviously the notion of who he is as a defender clouds people's judgment. And Luka has loud, as much as he's a loud offensive player, he has loud defensive lowlights.
Yeah.
So that one
Absolutely.
clip, one low light of him is like the worst thing on earth. But the fact of the matter is, these numbers exist. You guys use this number. You guys use these numbers to rate everyone and all, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, Luka is under pressure not because of performance. Luka is under pressure due to standing in the league. And I just want him to get some fucking respect, because he's getting, bro, the lies on his name now is like a lot. I saw a list of most valuable players to their team, and people are putting Wemby and Shea over him. I'm like, where is the Lakers gonna be without this dude? What was our winning overs and unders at the start of the season about the Lakers? We were like max their 6th, and they possibly could be a high play-in team. Bro, they're 22 games over 500. Luka is 42 and 20 in the games he's played and all, right? So I'm just like, what is going on? So that's why, for me, there needs to be a reminder to the detractors and it's sad that he has to remind them, but he has to remind them. And unfortunately, he has to still carry a team that we don't think are that good.
That we don't believe in.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's such a weird thing, right? I'm like, bro, you have to do it.
Yeah.
But that team, it's like that team. But again, that's the place he is, and that's where the pressure comes in for him, that he's not going to get the excuse, because I've seen all these media members speak about it, and somehow they keep forgetting how bad the roster construction is on the Lakers. So he's not going to get that excuse. Yeah. He's not going to get that excuse. That's not going to be mentioned. He's just going to get shot pretty much. Even I bet you today, Lakers lose in the first round and Lucas average 40, 10, and 9. We know what they're going to be saying. Oh, the points don't matter. Oh, he's not playing winning basketball. That's what they're going to be saying, unfortunately.
And you'll be there at the front lines to defend him.
I'm done defending. I've written my article. Check out my Substack article, Sports Enthusiast. Follow me. Thank you very much.
I mean, my next one, my last one.
I said everything about Luka. Elias is like, I don't even have anything to add.
I don't have anything else to add. I just let you go because I know how passionate you are about Luka. But no, there is pressure on him, and obviously the media will, however he does, there will be detractors, and he is in a weird spot where his team, while they've been better, still I don't think can hold a test to the Spurs or OKC. Or even maybe the Wolves on a bad night, or the Nuggets on a bad night, something like that. Like, they will still are susceptible to losing and not even making the conference finals. But yet he is still expected to perform above and beyond how he even is right now, which is just ridiculous in the month of March with averaging almost 40 and all that stuff. My last one, I don't think this is one where I don't think there's actually a lot of pressure on this specific coach. This is just something that I'm very interested in looking forward to when it comes to the playoffs, because this has been something that's kind of, not been talked about. It's Mark Daigneault and the rotations of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because
what is going on here?
The pressure is not on Mark Daigneault. He is a top 5 coach. I just wanted to talk about this because for the whole season, Shea has carried this team with a bunch of injuries. Dub, Chet has been out, Hartenstein, AJ Mitchell missed extended time. There's been guys in and out. They have now finally had their full rotation. I believe they played a game. Who did they play against? And they lost recently. They
Mm,
lost against Boston. And this is a game that I heard Bill Simmons talk about a bunch, that they played. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 guys against Boston, who has a more tight rotation. This is a team that is overflowing with riches, who is overflowing with defense and offense and
yeah.
size and this and that. And for the entirety of the season, it was about how can we, maintain this defensive integrity with these important guys out, with J-Dub out. Now, everybody's healthy. You cannot play 10, 11, even 9 guys in the playoffs. Who are you going to pick? When it comes down to it, if Lou Dort has a bad game, if Lou Dort has, this or that, if Cason Wallace can't hit a three, if J-Dub is not having the greatest game, will you be able to, adjust those rotations game by game, to account for shooting needs, for defensive needs? This is a team that I think, we've kind of forgotten. Again, they started 24-1. People were putting them up to be the greatest team of all time. Obviously, they weren't able to succeed that, but they are still an amazing team. I
Yeah.
believe Shea believes that they should go back to back, that they should win. Obviously, their relationship with the Spurs, that's going to be very interesting. But if they make it out of the West, they are going to win.
When
I
they're
don't
gonna
believe
win.
anybody is going to come
Yeah,
out of the East.
they're
And
gonna
I
win.
think that they are just in the best type of problem when, again, you are overflowing with riches. You have so many guys.
Mm.
Are you going to cut out Jared McCain? Are you going to cut out Isaiah Joe? Like, you're going to have, I keep harping on this, Caruso, Dort, Wallace. These guys are incredible defenders. Sometimes they can't hit a damn shot. They can't hit a three. Are you going to be able to, we're going to get in Jared McCain here. We're going to let Isaiah Joe rock out. But if you do let him get in and he hasn't been playing minutes, or he's been cold, he hasn't played the first 2 games, now you're suddenly putting him in important moments because you need his shooting. He's not going to have that rhythm. This is a rotation that needs to be tight for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mark Daigneault, and this is more so people's perception of the Oklahoma City Thunder as a team that is capable of not only going back to back, but being a dynasty. He's going to have to make some hard choices. He's going to have to make some in-game decisions, game by game decisions. Who is the starting rotation going to change? I believe that, like, there is so many options for them to go that I would be surprised. I would be shocked if there are not somewhat, somebody sits out for somebody else. He lets, a Jared McCain rock out and he has a great fourth quarter and Lou Dort is on the bench or Caruso's on the bench. There is some pressure to figure it out because you have so many guys. How could you not
And I
win?
also like this pick just because obviously it's not something I would have thought about, and this is why you're brilliant. But one of the reasons why I like the pick also is the fact it's all cool until you're down 2-1 in the series. And now
Now, yeah.
it's like, oh shoot. Like now as the coach, you're like, okay, who are we going to? Who are we going to for that game 4?
In the biggest closing moments, who are you going to choose? I believe, Caruso defensively in clutch. He had, I think, against the Pistons, had clutch like deflections, and I believe he hit a three. He hit his first shot of the game in. I don't know if it was overtime or if it was like at the end of the fourth quarter. Either way, that's a guy that is a defensive playmaker and a changer. But again, his shot, all that. Cason Wallace, you want these guys, these young guys, to get these good playoff reps, and they've shown themselves. I haven't even talked about J-Dub, who I believe a lot of people will actually have a lot of pressure on him as well to perform. But obviously with the injury and all that, he hasn't had much of a season to get ready and all that stuff. But I just think that this is a team that there hasn't been a repeat. There hasn't been a repeat team since the Warriors. Every single year is a new championship.
Yeah.
We've declared, Boston, they can do it. I don't know, whatever team, they can be the ones to repeat it. I think OKC can be the team to repeat it. I think everybody is expecting them to be the dynasty.
Yes.
And when it comes down to, like you said, in a playoff, when you're down a game, when you're down in a quarter, those are tough decisions to make.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you have a guy, like I said, with a Jared McCain who hasn't
And
played in a game
the,
or two,
the Rockets are 20 balling the Knicks. Just saying. That was crazy. I
oof,
just saw that.
oof. Yeah, the Knicks are a team. But yeah, that's one that I feel there isn't a lot of pressure. I think you're very right on that when you said, um, you know, there's no pressure until things like, until
Yeah.
there is pressure. There's no pressure until there is pressure, until there are decisions
There's a
to be
certain
made.
swag. There's a certain swag you go into as the champions and all that you go
Mhm.
into the playoffs with and everything. And once you just get punched in the mouth, like, whoo! And as you said, the last 2 games I've not played Isaiah Joe. The last
Mhm.
2 games I've not played McKenna. Okay, maybe I need them now. Maybe I need 3 points. And now they're cold.
Mhm.
And they come in and they're cold. And that's not working. And like, oh shit, should I go back to what?
And
That's
then,
where
but those guys, those defenders are susceptible to just missing shots.
missing.
And then, you got however J Dub can play off of his injury and all that. I just think it's a very interesting part of this team that we think so highly of. That I
Yeah.
think, if stuff goes bad for them, the rotations, who they choose in important games and lineups, I think is going to be something very interesting to look out for. It was less on Mark Dagnall himself. I think
Yeah.
this
No,
guy could.
I get what you mean. It's not
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
him on the
yeah.
coach. He's not in
But
trouble but
there
just
is the
that's
expectations.
that
We have so many expectations of them,
that
and
pressure around rotations is going to be there. I completely agree with you. And okay, my next one, you're gonna like this one, and I'm sure you don't have it on there. But I think this guy's chance. This is your chance to tell us if you're a winning player, if this franchise should tag you along to this ride they're about to go into. This franchise, this is your chance on national TV and the whole world. And I am saying this in expectation that your team makes the playoffs. Your team will make the playoffs. That's what I am saying. I'm very confident in you guys that you will make the playoffs. And I don't want to be disappointed.
is it
So
LaMelo?
it's LaMelo Ball. It's LaMelo Ball. This
I
is
didn't have
probably
him.
going to be your last chance, I see,
Really?
of no.
Okay,
Of
okay, okay.
being
I'll let you go. I'll let you
sorry,
go.
sorry, I'm gonna say last chance. This is gonna be your first chance. I
Mhm.
think the media, everyone as fans is like interested in your team. They're
Mhm.
gonna be watching. Eyes on you guys. They're gonna be watching all the play-on games. Like I don't give a crap about any play-on game. I want to see what the Hornets are doing in their playoff games and all. And I'm gonna be rooting for them because I want to see
Yeah.
them. I want to see them. I want to see them play someone like the Celtics, the Pistons. Like I want to see them go in there and
Mhm.
just be entertaining and exciting because they're the most entertaining team in the league. So
Absolutely.
LaMelo Ball has always been branded as non-winning player. The style of play is never going to win, blah, blah, blah. If you guys get to the playoffs, this would be the time you get to show it. And whatever people come out away from the playoffs with will really determine your next spot. Because for me, it's going to be next spot. And it's going to really determine your money. Because I don't think you're good. I think if you show up bad, if they make this playoff run and you show up bad in the
Well, I don't
playoffs,
think there would be a run if he plays bad. I think.
maybe we don't know, bro. Brandon
Do you
Miller,
think if LaMelo Ball plays bad,
Brandon
that
Miller,
Brandon Miller and Con
Con,
Knipler are going to be
Con,
able to beat
Con the
somebody in the first
Conqueror,
round?
Con the Conqueror, Diabate. Like, come on.
That's
They
a good team, but
Kobe White.
I don't think if
Kobe White. I think they very much can play well, and he plays terrible. He's the kind of player that I believe.
I push back. I don't think they can win if he plays terrible. I
I
think
that's
they
one thing.
can
That's what I'm
win if
saying.
he
I
even
don't mean
shoots
win. I
poorly.
don't mean win. I don't think they win a series against the Celtics.
Really, I think it could get
I don't think
spicy.
I don't see
It
this.
could get
I don't think
interesting.
against Pistons possibly with no Cade, but I'm saying
Yeah.
they could play well though.
Yeah.
But my thing is, how is LaMelo playing and all, right? Like, how is
Mhm.
LaMelo playing? How do you show up in this playoff series? Because you've never almost gotten the chance. I think they went to one playoff series
They
in his
I know,
time.
they've just been in the play-in. They've been
Yes,
in the
and
play-in champions
I'm just
and
like,
losers too.
no, this is one of the first times they've even been in playing recently, bro. I think.
No,
I think.
they were 41-41 one season with LaMelo.
Yes, and
Let
they
me
made the
see.
playoffs. I think did they
Th
make the playoffs?
that was,
Like, bro, they were 14th last year. They were 14th last year. They were
no,
13th,
in, 2021, 2022, they were,
14th.
43 and 39, but they were 10th in the Eastern Conference, and it
Okay,
seems like they lost to the Hawks
they definitely
in the
lost. Yeah.
play-in.
So, bro, no one has cared about you all this time. People don't have trust in you as a basketball player in terms of winning. This is your chance, and I am saying this in expectations they make the 7th seed or the 8th seed. I'm saying that.
Yeah,
No, that's my next player.
I like that. I like
Oh,
that.
that's our last player actually. When I think
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
yes,
There was one game, oh my gosh, which is it? He was just shooting the the ball, the three-pointer like crazy. What game was it recently? Maybe it wasn't as bad as I remember, but I think it was this game. I think no, it wasn't against the Heat. He like shot 4 of 12 from 3. I remember there was one game recently where he shot like damn like 16 threes or
damn.
something in a game. Like maybe I'm just crazy. I thought that happened. Oh wait, no. I think it's this one. Yeah, it was a Sixers game. That was a really good game.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
a really
yeah,
good
yeah,
game.
yeah.
He shot 5 of 18 from 3 and 7 of 26 overall for 20 points. He made 3 of those threes in the fourth quarter, but yeah, he is a very interesting player. He has so many plays and threes and passes where it's like, wow, you're going to do that right now. I think in the playoffs, those moments could definitely bite him in the butt. Um, but yeah, no, that's a fair pick because I'm just very interested to see this team in the playoffs. I hope they make it in the
I
playoffs.
want, like, I am rooting for them so bad to make the playoffs. Like, we need excitement. We need a team that is just going to. We need a team
Like,
that's going to just break the mold in what they do every night. And I think
yeah,
for Lamelo, bro, this is a you're playing for your
is
next. You're playing for your next contract. Let me just put it that way. He's playing for
is
whatever he
he?
thinks
I don't
he's
know
going
what
to
his
get.
contract is,
I think he
but
got his money last time.
yeah, he's gotten his money for sure. But yeah, I don't know. But no, that's a good pick. That's a good pick because I really don't know
Then
what
he
Lamelo
kind
in
of, yeah, maybe he doesn't even care if he's playing for his next guy. Bro,
yeah
he signed a 5-year, 203 million, 200 and 200.9, can't even spell it. 203.9 million designated rookie maximum extension in 2023, bro. Bro, what made them sign into that contract? Bro, they would be
they got
14,
nobody else. They have
14,
nobody else to
13,
sign.
12. What the hell?
I think somebody else interesting for that is actually Brandon Miller. I think
Oh,
um
that kid is really good, bro.
he's really good, but I've seen some people say online like, man, I've do we sign this guy to a max extension? Like that might be also a little bit scary. But no, that's a great pick. Um, this is a very fun draft. My picks again were Donovan Mitchell for just his play, Austin Reeves, Ime Udoka, Jalen Brown, and the rotations of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yeah,
Yeah.
what were your
Mine
five again? Yeah,
mine was Wemby, Mike Brown, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, and LaMelo Ball.
yeah, those are
Yes,
good picks. I also
yes.
had written down. I wrote down Cade, but I didn't really believe that because he's still coming. He's coming off like collapsed lung. Just sounds so
So
crazy.
crazy, bro.
I also wrote down Ingram, but I don't know. Scotty, I don't really care about that. I wrote Jalen Johnson, but it's whatever. I wrote Jokic and his defense, but I don't believe in that either. So those are the other picks. Oh yeah, and the Bucks package, Cat and Mikal Bridges. But I think I like your point better that it's like, you know, I think Mike Brown might be the one to go before either of those guys. Or maybe yeah, he might be to blame first before those other guys. But
The
yeah,
Bucks, the Bucks package is too funny.
I just wanted to write down the Bucks package because that's all they could trade, but there's no way the Bucks would do that. But
Yeah,
who knows? Under the new tanking rules, maybe the Bucks don't want to completely hollow out because they have
bro,
who
man,
knows with that new
don't
lottery
don't
stuff.
don't trigger me, bro. We don't talk about the Bucks on here anymore, man.
Did you like any? We'll just be quick. Did you like any of the lottery suggestions? Where I
I
don't know
saw
if you
it
read
and
them by Shams.
I've not read it. But we remember we talked about it.
We've
We already
talked
talked
about it, yeah,
about
but
it. We
this
already
one, these ones are not exactly the same. The first one, I don't even have it here, but I remember correctly. It was like the 10 teams that didn't make the playoffs all have an 8% chance to get the first overall pick, and then the play-in teams, the 8 play-in teams have like 20% left, and that goes like in descending order. um, so there is a possibility that like somebody, the 7 seed playing team, does have a chance in the lottery. I'm not a fan of expanding the lottery to include the playing teams and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. And at the end of the day, like the flattened odds, like I don't want to talk about taking and all that stuff again. But it's like, man, if you're a bad team, not even that you're tanking, you're losing on purpose, but if you just are not good, you need good players. And if your chances are the same as a play-in team or a team that would just got outside the play-in and who has, a star, or maybe they had an injury to a person and they can just come back and they have the same chance to get the number one guy as you, and you drop down, I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know, but it's gonna be very interesting to see what changes they make.
yeah,
Um,
man. I'm more of a case of yeah. Once they do it and all, we're gonna see. But honestly, bro, if you're a losing team, how much do I care about if you're a losing team? Like, how much do we care about the Nets? How much do we care about the Jazz?
we're
How
gonna have
much
to
do we
care
care?
about them next episode. We're gonna do
Our
five
bye,
five words or less for all the teams,
yes, our bye teams next
for the
episode.
bye bye teams.
Yeah,
There's actually this article that I just saw today that was really highlighting the difference between the really bad teams, by this guy Tom Haberstroh on Yahoo Sports, who showed that the league, it's almost split in half between teams that are just a little bit under 500 and then teams that are like a 40% or less
ooh,
win. So those teams that are under would be Bulls, Bucks, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Jazz, Nets, Wizards, Kings, Pacers, and then everybody else is almost 500 or just under. And here's a summary of the B League, which are those tanking teams, versus the A League, the other teams in their
yeah.
recent competition. So Washington is 0 of 20 in its last 20 games against those teams that are like in the upper half. Brooklyn is one of 29 in the last 30. Sacramento is 1 of 23 in the last 24. Indiana is 2 of 12 in the last 14. Utah is 1 of 14 in the last 15. Memphis is 1 of 17 in the last 18. Dallas, the record books will remember what you said about Dallas before the season started. Dallas is 2 and 23 in its last 25 games against those A League teams. Milwaukee is 1 of 12. Chicago is 3 of 17. So those B League teams have posted a record of 12 and 167 losses against the A
12.
League. 12 wins to 167 losses, like the two halves of the league, the teams that are winning and the teams that are out. So that's almost 15 losses for every win. So
Jesus Christ, bro.
I think this year has been a real, I want to say, outlier in terms of tanking, because these teams have, like, they have tanked. Some of them are bad, but some of them are purposely not playing players to tank, and because this draft is so loaded. But it's like, I think this year has really expelled it to a, I feel like it's an outlier year. And yet Adam Silver and all these guys are like trying to make future changes for, to me, what feels like a real outlier year, because Wizards, Pacers, um, Dallas, maybe Grizzlies, maybe those teams, you kind of think going forward they will be at least better with Wizards making
Yeah.
trades and whatnot. But like this year feels like an outlier. Same with almost a 65 game rule as well, where we're just seeing like big, like Cade and Ant was almost out of it because of his injury, and Wembanyama's only a game away. Jokic is like 2 games away. Like I feel like the 65 game rule and the tanking, I feel like this year is an outlier for both of them in its extremes. And now Adam Silver in the league is like making future changes based off what I feel like is an outlier. Maybe it's not. Maybe we are heading the wrong
It's just
way, but
horrible
I don't
products,
know.
bro. Just horrible
Yeah,
products, bro.
yeah.
When you have that much teams losing and
And it's
instant
like you look on the schedule, and I don't even think twice to look at any of these teams. I just expect them all to lose.
incentivized to lose too.
Yeah,
Teams are being incentivized to lose. That's the thing. Why? And again, in a closed league, why should I want to win if I'm going to get incentivized to lose?
yeah.
Right?
But we've had our tanking thought. That's just my thought, that this year feels like an outlier for this
Yeah.
stuff, and now we're making big changes. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's data to prove that this is the way the league is heading and that there needs to be big changes. But yeah. Man, 2 weeks. I'm really excited. I think
Bro, man, this playoffs is gonna be fun.
it's gonna be fun. I'm
It's gonna
excited.
be
I
fun.
feel like we're getting close to. We got to do awards episodes soon. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
we gotta
I
do
don't know if
awards.
I don't know if that'll be next episode or the one after, but I feel, because I was looking in our history, bro. Last season we did awards and playoff in the same podcast.
Yeah,
Bro, that was 2 hours and 45
Bro,
minutes. That was too
bro,
much.
that was
That's
too much.
too much.
No,
Yeah,
to
we
be
got to
fair,
split those
I
up.
moved. I
Oh
wasn't.
yeah.
there was
We
so
had
much
to
thing
we had to
happening,
put
you
it
know.
together. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think this
No,
year we
this one
should
we're
split
doing
them
it.
up.
We're doing it the week the regular season ends.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
to do the week the regular season
I
ends.
think we can do it on April 11th. That's the Saturday. That's like there's one more day of games where every team plays, like on Monday or something like that. But I think Saturday is good enough to do awards. I think we'll know who's qualified by then. I'm sure
Yeah.
if somebody is one game away, they're going to play that last game and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I think that one will be good. And then maybe we'll talk about playing. And then after that, like probably I believe the 18th it starts, which is a Saturday, so maybe the Friday we can do playoffs. But yeah, man, it has been a good draft, fun stuff. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this playoffs.
Man,
it's gonna
this
be
playoffs
very
are-
fun.
These playoffs are going to be fun, man. Fun, and I'm kind of
And-
off work. I'm not going to have like so much serious stuff to do at work. Seasons have ended at my job and all end of April, so I'm locked in, bro. Locked in.
Yeah, I'm excited. Who knows? Maybe we do two pods a week. Who
2
knows
pods
how
a week.
crazy it gets?
Get it. No, bro. I'm 1000% down. We just need to work out some planning and all, but yeah, especially with the playoffs, a lot of stuff happen that are not really
Game
they're
by
not really
game.
going-
I feel like going weekly is like you're
going
gonna miss
weekly,
so much.
Yeah, you're gonna miss so much, and some things are 3 weeks like 3 days past. There's a new cycle that is different,
Yeah,
right? So
for sure.
we need to address to that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, great episode. Thank you everybody for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, liking the shorts. The shorts have been doing good.
Yes.
Keep making those and pushing those out. And yeah, we'll keep pushing the pace.
Right.
I hope you join us in pushing the pace.
Push
yeah,
the
man.
pace. Push the pace,
Thank you
guys.
everybody.
Thank
Take
you very
care.
much, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Bless.